Man, I don't know why I'm smiling so hard. I just started smiling. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's because I just looked at the title screen here and then I remembered what happened yesterday. Boy, yesterday was a doozy. I mean, no offense. You guys are cool and everything, and hanging out with middle school kids is fun.
Just got a Quamba obsidian.
Hey, alright. So, let me tell you about yesterday. It was a mission, there was the traffic, but we're not going to talk about that. I got there, and the first thing I was thinking the whole time was, am I going to be able to play Resident Evil 2? The theory was that if I go on day 3, it's going to be less crowded, and the lines are going to be much shorter, and that's going to give me a higher probability of actually playing the game. I was so wrong. What actually happened, just a moment. Let me follow the road here. I get there. I walk to the Capcom booth, which was amazing, by the way. It was like a Raccoon City Police Department thing. The whole police department. And people were lining around the police department to get in. And on the other side, there was a Crown Victoria police interceptor that was all fucked up. And there was zombies all over it, and people were waiting in line to take pictures with the zombies. It was impressive. And that wasn't even, like, on another side of the Capcom booth, there was a fighting ring where all the wrestlers sucked each other's dicks and shit. That was a whole separate part of the Capcom booth. So the Capcom booth was big, and it was elaborate, very big and elaborate. It had a police station and a wrestling ring and setups of Street Fighter and everything. So anyway, I'm just painting the picture for you so you could be there with me. So I'm there, I'm looking at this amazing booth, right? And I'm looking at the line and I'm thinking, okay, this is a long line, but I don't know, let me ask what this line's about. There was like this, okay, so everyone ended up realizing how hard it was to play Resident Evil. So these like really high level Resident Evil nerds ended up showing up early and like camping out. So I asked this dude and I said, hey, how long have you been waiting in line? And he said 3 hours. And I said, holy shit. Let's just say I ran into a Cap cop that helped a ninja out. And I got in. And it was so cool. Because I almost could have cried. Because it was like all hope was gone. All hope was lost. And I was already like, well, it's cool. And then, like, the clouds parted. And he's like, come with me if you want to live. And I followed him. And the door opened and it was this dark room. And it was like you were in the police department. A dark room. With lots of desks. Like police desks. And the desks had TVs on them. And they had like a knob for your head crones. They had nice head crones. And like a wooden chair. Like an old school police department style wooden chair. Not comfortable. So he was like, do you want to play on PlayStation or Xbox? And I was like, man, PlayStation. So he put me on the PlayStation. I put on the head crones. Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Better than anything at Universal Studios Hollywood. Easily better than anything at Universal Studios Hollywood. Easily. I just went. 3D, Vin Diesel, doesn't even come close. Not even close. So anyway, the game, right? I'm reliving it right now. So I'm remembering how it felt, So the game, you start the game, and obviously the demo is not the beginning of the game. That's very clear. In fact, I suspect that the police department will change when the game comes out. Kind of like the way the Resident Evil 7 demo was actually a part of the Resident Evil 7 game, but they changed the rules of it around in the game when it came out. I think that's what's going to happen here because, for example, the front door where you walk into the police station is completely barricaded with a bunch of trash. So how did you even get into the police station? And in the beginning of the demo, it also says, like, you know, it's his first day on the job and he had to stop to get some gas or some shit. So it kind of puts you into the demo. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, it was a 20-minute long timed, I think it was about 20 minutes, timed demo. But thankfully, they said that I could just, like, you know, play. I don't think that I asked the guy, like, hey man, do I have to hurry or whatever? He's like, no, you know, be cool. So I was cool. So I just sat there and I took my time and I was playing. And, you know, I thought it was going to feel like Resident Evil 4. First of all, it's not tank controls at all. It's analog controls. And when you're walking, it's kind of like, basically when you run, when you sprint, you can run towards the camera and the camera doesn't turn. Kind of like Evil Within. It's actually a lot like Evil Within in its controls, except that it's so much slower. And that was something I was really worried about. You know how, like, Resident Evil 4 has tons of enemies, and the even Resident Evil 5 and all these games, they're kind of designed to deal with mobs. And I didn't want this game to be about mobs, because that's not what Resident Evil 2 is about, right? There are some situations with lots of zombies, but it's not about getting a machine gun and, you know, blowing down all these fucking mobs of zombies. So that is like, that fear was completely, like, snuffed out, because the pace of the game is super slow. The maximum speed that Leon runs, I met this guy before I got to play it. He was like, man, I hate how when you run with Leon, it's so slow. And I was like, that's weird. Man, am I glad that guy is not happy, because that means I'm happy. Leon running slow is what you want, dude. It's like he runs the speed of the game. This game. It feels like an old school style, the pace. Zombies, oh man, that's another thing. So you run into zombies, right? And I had watched all these people play. And all these people were shooting these zombies like, man, he's not dead yet. I shot him in the head 10 times. He's not dead. So I was thinking to myself, that's weird. It doesn't seem right. The solution is, you're not supposed to kill the zombies. It's so obvious. I was watching them play and they're spending 15, 20 bullets to kill the zombies. You're not supposed to kill the zombies, obviously. They're there to be like obstacles. You know, they're presented in a way, they're so slow and they're so stupid, just like the zombies in RE2. So they're really like paying homage to the pace and the feel of these types of zombies, where they're not fast, they're not gonna run, they don't even lunge. So what you want to do with the zombies in Remake is you shoot their limbs. When you shoot their limbs, they're almost just there to scare you. They're totally immobile. You shoot their leg off with 2 bullets. You shoot the fat guy's leg off with 2 bullets, you don't even need to worry about him anymore. He could hardly move, right? So that's why, you know, all these people were struggling, shooting them in the head. Carcinogen shot one zombie in the head like 10 times, and that ninja was still moving on the ground, right? So it seems like that's kind of what they want you to do. Very Dead Space, right? You want to go for the limbs. You don't want to go for anything else. Very, very cool. I loved it. I mean, there's so much to talk about, but I'm trying to stay in order. And I'm thirsty.
So zombies don't die?
They die. They definitely die. But it just doesn't seem like you should kill them. Because we're talking about a difference between 15 bullets versus 2. But that's the thing. I don't know whether the balance of the game is so early, right? I don't know what they're going for, but it feels to me like they've made it so that if you are a total scrub, you see a zombie, your instinct is to point your gun at it and shoot it until it dies. That will work. And the demo gives you enough bullets to do that. But if you're a Resident Evil player, you're thinking, well, I'm going to conserve my bullets. So let me get around this guy as easily as I can. So what you're going to do is you're going to use as few bullets as you can. And you're going to shoot him in the foot. I'm trying very hard to have these thoughts. Interruptions. Pairing off these donation messages. Thanks, guys. Yeah, dude, just shoot them in the foot. You could get around them so easily. They don't like lunge, they just crawl. It's so cool the way they look, though. You can shoot their mouth off. You can shoot their, like, oh man, they get real close to you when they bite you. And the knife also, if you hit the wall with a knife or if you ricochet off of anything, the durability doesn't go down. It has a little life bar. So I think the knife is there to prevent you from doing RE4 style gameplay where you shoot off their leg, which is very easy to do, and then you kill them with the knife. You can't do that. The durability of the knife is to prevent you from clearing the whole place out with only a couple bullets. That's why it's there. Otherwise, you could shoot off their leg and fucking cheese every zombie in the game. Also, the knife is a defensive item. And when you use it as a defensive item, it takes the durability of the knife. So that's like a balance issue. The knife can break. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know if you get another one, but it can break. And they also, you can tell that they're dead by looking at them. I noticed that some people were like, is it dead? You know, but you can see the zombie kind of go from this like motion captured kind of a feel, like a stiff animation, to like a loose, you know, they just become dead. You can see it when you look at them. There's no more like blood stain. That doesn't exist. There's no blood stain that like appears. It's just like, you just gotta look at them and you can figure it out. Though, I do feel like there was one instance where a zombie kind of either respawned or came back to life. So I don't know what the rules are on that. But yeah, you can tell that, you can at least tell that they're no longer a threat because you've like immobilized them.
The trailer show lunging zombies, no?
The zombies lunge at you after they've already gotten you. So basically, from what I could tell, you couldn't, like in Remake, you can't like do a shimmy and get them to whiff a lunge.
My favorite is
doesn't seem like that's possible. The lunge that you see is kind of like it's already over. It's already gonna grab you and bite you, you know? So I think that you can't make them, you can make them whiff, but it's not like a lunge. It's just like an attack. Kind of like Evil Within. You know how Evil Within, you can move your character in like a circular fashion to produce whiffs. You could do that, and they do whiff. But the lunge, it seems like it's already over once it hits you. It's part of the animation. So, someone asked me, what didn't you like about it? And that's a good question, because I have so many great things to say. I was like, so happy with it overall. I can't even like emphasize how pleased I am with what could potentially happen with this game. It's just breathtaking. The demo was in 30 frames per second too. So imagine on PC, pimps only, the graphics, unless you've seen it on a full HD display, you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. You guys, including myself, watching it online, you might as well be watching it on a Sega Genesis, because it doesn't even do the quality of the textures justice. I mean, very nice. You could see each strand of this ninja's hair. I mean, when moving around, it's really impressive. Their teeth, the zombies' teeth, I mean, little chunks, guacamole, you know? It's pretty impressive, the way it looks. If I had to say one thing I don't like about it, it seems so easy. So easy. I don't know, like, the only enemies you fight against are zombies. Regular zombies. You get to see one licker, but I didn't fight it, and I don't think anyone else has. And they're so stupid. The zombies are so slow, you can shoot off one of their limbs, legs gone, you never have to worry about them again. There are some situations where there are several zombies at a time, but again, leg, they give you so many healing wares and so many 9mm bullets. You can also find other guns, which I didn't bother doing. In fact, I kind of played the demo really slowly the first time, and then I ran out of time. And then I played it again, and I did it like as fast as I could until that point, and then slowed it all the way down again, started just looking around again, and then I ran out of time again. But at that point...
I'm happy that you're happy with Remake. Happy Big Friday.
3 happies? Thanks, guys. Thanks, dudes. I'll read all that stuff in a second. Let me just poop all these thoughts out. I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So... I kind of got to this point in the demo where it started to feel like, oh man, I wonder what I do with this object, or I wonder what this, you pick up all these items, right? And I started to become a puzzle god. And then I thought, all right, look, you better turn it off. So I turned it off at that point where I started to feel like, I'm investigating and figuring shit out. It felt like it was starting to spoil way too much. The demo... if I were to say, I think it's easy, right? But that's very likely journalist mode. They made it that way. They made it easy so everyone could play it and enjoy it, right? Fair enough. The final game, I'm sure, will be harder, right? If I were to pick something that I didn't like about it, the RE7 prompts, I didn't mind them either. You know how I was saying, it's too bad when you pick the menu, it's RE7 style? The only thing I don't like about that is that it's not new. But that's it. Otherwise, it works perfectly. Yeah, okay. A lot of people dislike Leon's face. A lot of people dislike Claire's face. Two things I have to say about that. First of all, they looked pretty fucking stupid on the PS1. That's the first thing that comes to mind. When you think about the PS1, they looked like they were made out of, Lego Batman toys.
Thank you.
Right? Furthermore... he's supposed to be much younger in RE2 than he is in anything else we've seen him in, right? So we're only look at him right here. Look at his face right here, dude. He looks like a Caucasian rip.
Thank you.
Come on, dude. I don't know. Personally, when I think about Leon, yeah, he looks a little weird, but I got so used to it so fast. Oh, another thing I have to tell you about Resident Evil is... the light, the flashlight. Whoo-wee, it is implemented perfectly. The lighting in the game is so nice. You go from a room that is well lit into a dark room. He automatically pulls out the flashlight. It's very intuitive. You don't have to worry about any kind of battery system, or he just pulls it out when he needs it, puts it away. It's not an item. It's automatic. It's only there for ambiance and, to really give you the heebs, right? So, when he pulls it out and you're in a super dark area, you can only see what the flashlight is showing you. Very dark. Then there are rooms where they start dark, right? And part of the objective of the room is to turn a light on, light switch. When that happens, that's when you really appreciate the flashlight. The flashlight is so cold, right? When you're using it, when you're holding it, it feels cold. The light is a cold light, like a hospital's light. But when you turn the room's light on, it's like a warm light that is so different. The room goes from being this crazy, uncomfortable place to being this warm, safe place. Very well done. Dude, it's just I have nothing but great things to say about it. It's super tight. Maximum level. I don't even care about camera angles or anything. The potential is so high for that game. The demo is massive. Huge, right? Compared to the RE7 demo. If you were to combine the RE7 demo, the Lantern demo, and every demo that they put out before RE7 together, still wouldn't even come close to the size of this demo. So big. I only did a small portion of it intentionally for no spoilers, but it's so huge. And I was worried, man, how much of the game is this? But I overheard them saying that this is such a tiny, tiny part of the game. So, pretty unbelievable. Stellar remarks when it comes to this game. Super turned up.